welcome to another edition of RecTech on YouTube. Today, got a special day for you today. We're going to look at the hiring and screening aspects of Phenom's new agentic AI technology. I got a chance to go to their IM Phenom show a couple months ago where they touted the new features. They've got all kinds of agents coming for the hiring and recruiting processes, but today we're going to kind of focus on the X Plus agents for hiring intelligence. Phenom describes it as refining knowledge worker evaluation with AI that conducts candidate screening and interview scheduling at scale while executing objective assessments to ensure skill and cultural alignment. They safeguard interview integrity by also detecting bias, verifying answer authenticity, and providing real-time guidance to hiring teams. So joining me now is Mike DeMarco and Kevin Bigo from their product teams. Hey guys, how are you today?
Howdy, Chris. How's it going, man?
Excellent.
Doing well. We're excited to be here.
Joining us from the Phenom studio there in PA.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm located in New Jersey, but took a trip to the office this week, hang out with the team and a little in-person collaboration.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. So let's start out by give us the high level plan here for how customers are going to be take advantage of this new agentic AI. Have you started rolling it out? Give us some background there.
Yeah, Chris. So at IM Phenom, we announced 25 different experience and persona-based agents. And the way that we're going to be rolling these out to our customers in the coming months is in a very, very precise manner. We're going to be really focusing in on a small beta group with our customers and rolling it out in a manner that really just takes advantage of making sure that everything's buttoned up, that we're able to take in feedback from our customers, make adjustments where we need to really roll these out to make sure they have impact from day one.
Mm-hmm.
And so what our customers are currently using today, we have 3 agents that are right now out in the wild for you, and that's our X Plus sourcing agent, our X Plus intake agent, and the executive search agent as well. And so each of these agents are really designed, and we're going to be talking about this a lot in this conversation today, about how agents are really designed to take on that task level functionality for you and to be tailored to execute that specific task that you need done. So the sourcing agent, that goes ahead and plays in on fit score, and it's understanding, connecting that to that job description for you so that you could conversationally go into the sourcing agent and just say, hey, I'm looking for cashiers in New York City with 2 years experience and who are available on nights and weekends. And then the sourcing agent is able then to intellectually pull back all of those data points and to surface up best fit candidates for you. And that's just one example of what we're experimenting and bringing to the market.
Yep. Okay. What's been your approach with agentic AI, guys? Tell me more about that philosophy a bit, and what you're looking to get out of this for the customer.
I mean, it's really to be able to augment workflows and to free people up to spend more time with people, right? Like we're in the HR business, we're all about connecting people to people, but still to this day, folks are trapped in manual processes. Whether that's going back to those sourcing conversations, Boolean searches, trying to find the right candidates, creating those job descriptions, interviewing candidates, sourcing. What these agents are doing here is building on top of Phenom's 14-year ontology. And the way that you could think about Phenom's AI is in 3 different ways. So you have our foundational models, which is really all of our AI, and what you think about lives in there as far as on the Phenom product side. That's our talent data platform. And what that is that's connecting all those disparate pieces of data that you have collected, whether that's from your ATS or from different team members, and that's aggregating that for you. And then within those foundational models sits the talent experience engine. And what that does is it's drawing those insights that's using the LLM to then report back to you and letting you know what it's finding. So that's what's serving up those candidates to you, saying, hey, Chris is a really great fit. He lives right outside of New York City. He's got the experience. Let's go ahead and move them forward. And so the agent is actually able to contextualize, reason, and then to move decisions forward for you based on the actual role of the agent. So Phenom's AI, you got those foundational models. On top of that sits our AI-enabled layer. That's our integration model. And that's, again, connecting all of those pieces to you from your external sources, bringing all of that data into one centralized platform. So then agents can sit on top of these ontologies to actually take the action that you need them to do.
Yeah, and the agents is different from just regular AI because they kind of they do some of the work there, right? For the
Yeah, it's
end user?
combining the way that I like to think about agents is really combining AI and automation together into one central place so that you can communicate to it and it's trained directly. Kevin was telling me this really great analogy about travel agents earlier. Do you want to share that with Chris?
Yeah, I was reading an article with it was an interview with head of AI at SAP, and he was describing maybe a travel agent. So if you're thinking about large language model, without the context, if you ask them to book a flight, they might book flights at private airports at times that might not work for you. Whereas with the context and the human in the loop aspect of an agent, they might ask you, does this flight work for you? And when you land, do you want this hotel? So they're more of a task focused, context aware application of AI versus just the kind of AI layer that we've built into our platform.
Yep. I've also heard them described as sort of junior recruiters overall, but
Yeah.
good way to think about it. All right, so you guys are going to demo I think the voice example first, is that right?
Yeah, I would love to go ahead and show that to you.
All right.
And so what the voice agent is really designed to do, and again, right, like you just said, like those like little recruiters who are always on and ready to go. And so the voice agent is designed to one, improve experiences for candidates. Everybody's not attached to a phone all the time. And also to give flexibility to recruiters so that they don't lose out on talent that actually is the right fit. And so the agent is set up on the back end within the Talent CRM. You're able to go ahead and generate questions using AI as well, tailored to your role. And then those questions get saved, and then you're able then to enact those questions out into a live screening process. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to call the agent, I'll put it on speaker, and then we could go ahead and hear how it sounds. Does that sound good, Chris?
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Right on.
Hi, this is Rachel, a virtual recruiting agent calling from Clover Market. Am I talking to Tony?
No, this isn't Tony.
Thank you for letting me know. Could you please provide me with your name?
Yeah, it's Mike calling.
Hi, Mike. You requested a call for the cashier position. Before we proceed, do I have your consent to continue with this brief screening call?
But before we get going, can you let me know what you're going to be doing with my data? I'm really concerned about it getting out into the hands of other people that I don't want it to.
I completely understand your concerns about data privacy. Your information will only be used for the purpose of the screening process and will be kept confidential. It will not be shared with anyone outside of the hiring team at Clover Market. If you're comfortable, may I have your consent to continue with the screening call?
Yes.
Great. With a couple of quick questions to confirm your eligibility. Are you legally authorized to work in the United States?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. You'll be required to work one Saturday shift per month and one holiday a year, depending on store needs. Does that work for you?
I can't work the third Sunday of every month. Is that okay?
Thank you for letting me know. As long as you're able to work one Saturday shift per month and one holiday a year, that should work.
Great.
Are you able to meet the Saturday shift and holiday requirements?
Yes.
Awesome. Now, can you tell me a bit more about your previous roles and responsibilities?
Yeah, I have some experience working as a cashier in my previous roles. That included managing teams of 2 to 3 members, also just making sure that everything was stocked at the end of the night and just doing visual merchandising as well.
Your experience sounds great. The next step is an in-person interview with the store manager. Are you available on Saturday at 10 a.m.?
No, do you have anything else available? I'm thinking like maybe in the afternoon sometime.
The only alternative I can offer is Saturday at 4 p.m. Would that work for you?
Sounds great.
Perfect. I will send you an invite for the interview on Saturday at 4 p.m. We look forward to meeting you in person. Thank you, Mike, and take care.
Thank you. So
I think that this voice recruiting technology, I'm really high in this piece of the recruiting puzzle, Mike and Kevin. I think that in, let's say, 5 years, I think every company's going to have this in place. But tell me more about what your philosophy is around the adoption of this, something like this.
yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you, Chris, because it's giving that flexibility to folks while remaining in complete control as well. And the agent, I don't know if you were picking up on this, but like as I was interrupting it, if I were to answer those questions differently, say those top two questions at the top, and this is what's really cool about this, is you're able to layer in those knockout questions. So if I were to say to the agent, no, I can't work on weekends, it would not have moved me forward to go ahead and to schedule. I wanted you to see that full workflow for it. And so what this is able to do is it's really able to start keying in and to tailoring that for your frontline roles. So thinking about like those job zones 1 and 2 roles, like so you're able to layer in those knockout questions, get the answers from the candidates, and keep that condensed talent pool of those highly qualified candidates. And so to your point, Chris, yeah, in the next 5 years, as more and more people take this on as an additional option, the options are endless for organizations, and it's customizable to their needs.
What's the process for creating these rules, Mike? These questions and stuff like that. I mean, walk me through a little bit of that aspect.
Yeah. So the right now the way that we're doing it is, again, I shared with you how we're working alongside with our collaborators, our customers on this. And so our product team is meeting with the recruiters, asking them what questions are necessary for the roles for them, aligning them to the role for them, and then creating questionnaires within the CRM. And the recruiter within the CRM, they're able then to decide whether or not they want that to be a knockout question or not. So they're able to put the rules in place in full control. You're able to weight your screening questions as well. So say if you ask if somebody, this is more in our traditional screening product, which I would love to talk to you about some other time, but you're able to weight those answers. So like if you were looking for somebody with the ideal Goldilocks experience of say 2 to 3 years, you could go ahead and weight, 0 to 1, say a lower weighting. You could wait like 5 to 7 years, a lower rating, because you don't want to pay too much to bring that person in the door. And you could really weight what you're interested in order to make sure that you are getting the right talent pool forward.
Cool. Okay. All right. How about the chatbot example? Can you take that, Kevin?
Sure. So I'm going to share my screen here. Oop. Do you mind if I have access
Oh,
to?
sorry about that. Yeah, let me get that for you. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. So I put together a little pre-roll because we're going to go through a few different experiences just related to how these agents can interact with candidates almost as a concierge service. So this first one we're looking at would be if you can imagine you're a candidate who applied to maybe a front desk role at a hotel. But at the time you applied, it hadn't there were no roles available for the shifts that you were looking for. But a role had opened up a few months later, and through the sourcing capabilities of our platform and the fit score, we're able to automatically engage a candidate who had previously applied in that silver medalist capacity. So we think that this is going to be something that really accelerates time to hire. So this next agent or search piece that we put into this flow would be the search experience, or what we're envisioning could be a search experience for candidates moving forward. Phenom has always advocated for intelligent search above the fold. So what we're doing here is trying to mimic an LLM-like experience for candidates and provide additional context around content or what life might look like at the organization. So you can see on the left side here, I'm searching for a compliance role at this organization, Point Capital. It's showing me a few roles on the right, but it's not really showing me exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm refining my search by looking for maybe a role in Philly. It's automatically going to find a few of those roles, zoom in on the location. If I'm interested in one of these roles, I can click on that, and then it will summarize the role for me and provide a little bit more information about what we're really seeing here and what that might look like for me. It could incorporate employee testimonials and other things of that nature. So if I'm interested within this conversational application experience, you can see I'm uploading a resume. It's going to review my resume for fit. Through our fit score technology that's underlying the platform, it can see that I'm a match, and it's going to start helping me schedule an interview within the search experience, which is something that we think is going to be a really game changer. So at this point, I'm trying to schedule an interview. There maybe wasn't a time that was available for the recruiter to speak currently, but we're going to schedule a follow-up call to do that.
What's the biggest question clients have about like setting up a chatbot like that, Kevin?
Yeah, I think I think sometimes LLMs have the capacity to hallucinate for anybody who's kind of been diving into this technology. But I think we're alleviating those concerns by having this kind of really textual environment that's built from HR data. So there's a little bit less risk involved around that.
are you using what type of like AI modeling is behind all that? Do you give me a sense of that?
Yeah, I mean, we'd love to set you up with some of our product engineering folks, but I believe we're using like the Meta Llama models for a lot of the LLM side of things, but we're using multiple LLM models kind of for different applications throughout the platform.
Yep.
Mhm.
Do you
Yeah.
think as far as customers go, these goes they'll have the option to do voice screening or chat as kind of the mix here and let the candidate kind of choose which one they want to use?
I think so. And I mean, to your point earlier, I think that this is the voice is going to be a huge um, piece of what the future of AI looks like. I mean, even for us in marketing, we use LLMs to
I think
help
all
generate.
kinds of technology, all kinds of aspects of business, right? I think is going to be voice enabled.
Yeah, I mean, I use voice in my daily life. If I'm going to the driving range, I'm going to ask XAI through the voice agent, what should I practice today? So I think, as part of our daily life in all business applications and in recruiting or talent management, I think the voice is going to be a huge component.
Nice. Mike, what's your favorite personal AI tool or assistant today?
Oh man, that's a great question. Man, the one that I'm loving right now that I'm excited about is this platform called Synthesia. And so Synthesia is a video editing platform where you're able to really bring in everything from like you could just bring in an idea, provide it with a prompt, upload up a PowerPoint, and it starts to generate up a video for you. And to Kevin's points, like that's an example of a tool that's being trained on AI that's specifically designed for that use case. And what we're doing here at Phenom is we're really focusing in on that HR space and making sure that our solutions are tailored for those use cases specifically. Like, I'm not going to go look to Synthesia to go create a sourcing agent. I'm
Yeah.
not going to go look to ChatGPT to help me organize a strategy for coming up with better intake meetings or how to organize that process or how to automate it even, right? Like the technology is moving into a place where you really need to find a vendor who's specializing within the domain specifically and is thinking through those challenges that you face every day.
Yeah. Very cool. All right, I think next is the auto scheduling. Who wants to tackle that one?
Yeah, so I'll share my screen again just to show this piece. So we're envisioning that the auto scheduling, I mean, this is something that could be initiated from recruiters or managers, but in this instance, we're going to show from what we call the candidate hub. So the candidate hub is a centralized place where you can look at all of your applications, interviews, sign offers, or do verification. So in this instance, this is for like an ICU nurse who has submitted an application. They're in the credential review process. You can see here there's things like immunization records that they can upload. So these will be specific for different industries. In this case, we're going to schedule the interview. So clicking on the schedule interview, I can see that I'm interviewing for this ICU nurse position. It's going to give me a few different slots. So I just chose one and my request is in. The AI is going to see by reconciling the hiring team availability versus my availability. If there wasn't availability based on the times that I had chose, I'll have engagement through this chat interface through SMS just to reach candidates where they are. So it's asking me if I have additional time. I'm going to provide additional time for the agent to help schedule. And then it's going to reconcile that with the hiring manager and then schedule that interview and then communicate that out to them. So I think earlier Mike was talking about the difference between AI-enabled apps and the agents. So we've had automated interview scheduling for several years now, maybe 4 or 5 years, and that's an AI-enabled technology that is manually driven or initiated and schedules the interviews automatically. This is going to be the next level where the agent can, take that action to reconcile if new times need to be added or things of that nature. Maybe, there are conflicts in the hiring manager's schedule and we need to move things around. It'll be able to kind of take some of those tasks and bring humans in when necessary.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was going to ask what the difference was with the new one. So
Yeah.
that's helpful. So we saw a few agents today, guys. What else is in the mix for you guys? And what's the kind of plan here to roll some of this stuff out?
Yeah, Chris, it's agents, agents, agents. And so you're going to be seeing a lot of exciting things coming from us in the months to come. I would say just be on the lookout just to continue to see the agents that we are rolling out. We actually just released a blog on our fraud protection agent as well. So I would say head on over to phenom.com, stay up to date, keep reading because we keep updating all the time.
Yeah, describe that fraud thing if you could for a second, Mike, because that's pretty interesting to me as well.
Yeah. So within that, so what the agent is able to do is it's able to, within an interview context, start to pick up on if the person you're interviewing is repeating back canned answers to you. So it would go ahead and prompt you to go ahead and to ask a deeper question or a specific use case question to try to understand the person's actual knowledge and expertise within that space.
Interesting. Very cool.
Yeah, I think I just want to tag on to the fraud agent. I think that's going to be really interesting when we're seeing a lot of interest from, various stakeholders. But I was reading an article yesterday that since ChatGPT had been released, some companies are seeing up to 130% increase in applications on jobs across jobs. So to be able to understand if, these are embellished or if they're, completely fraudulent in some regard, that's going to be really important for companies. Because in some cases, not just candidates who, maybe are embellishing their history, there's actual, people who are applying to jobs to get insider access. So there's a threat component as well.
Yeah, totally. It's I got a message the other day from some number I didn't know,
Mhm.
to try to get me to apply for some job I never applied for. So it's like
My,
they're out there fishing everywhere.
my mom on Mother's Day, she said, I'm getting, SMS texts about jobs and I haven't had a resume ever online. So why are they, this is clearly not real.
I even got some a couple of emails I'm getting recently. They're from candidates saying they applied to a job I had on. I'm not hiring. So again, they're fishing too. So
Yeah.
it's a strange market out there for sure. All right, guys. Well, anything else you want to leave us with? What do you like? How do you what do you tell customers or prospects in terms of wrapping their head around some of this stuff? Because it is so new, and a typical recruiter is not trained in agentic AI. So how do you guys try to explain it to them? What's your advice to them?
Yeah, we like to say that this is going to be, like a team member. Think about it like it's in some cases a team in a box. That some of our product managers might describe it as that, where this is going to be somebody who can, well, it's not somebody, it's an agent. This is going to be something that will really, alleviate the task of tedious tasks so that you can focus on strategic activities. But before you implement, I would say, evaluate where you are, look at different job categories where intelligence and automation can be applied in different ways. Take stock of that, and then see where you can strategically add in agents to really uplevel your TA or TM function.
Mhm. Yeah, I'd build off of what Kevin has just shared as far as just diving deeper into your industry and having an understanding of where you could start to apply AI and automation because there is a distinction between the two, right? And so for more of those like frontline roles like manufacturing, for instance, like high levels of automation can be applied to really help bolster that hiring process. Meanwhile, like if you look at something which is a little bit more of a knowledge worker role, like thinking about healthcare or nursing, for instance, like you need a nice combination of AI to be able to get to know the candidate and automation to be able to meet the people where they are because those folks are extremely busy and have a hard time just being able to get back to a job interview if anything. So what I'm really excited about is just how the technology is more and more meeting people where they are and providing ways for people to connect with people even at times when it's inconvenient or they're unable to.
Good stuff. Well, Mike and Kevin from Phenom.com, thanks for your time today, and keep us up to date as far as the agents launches go.
Awesome. Thank you much, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
See you
All right,
soon.
thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time on RecTech.